Hey guys, Darth Gloric here, back with another random update video. Update time. So, last night, really was yesterday, I did put up another video briefly talking about some translation translation problems with the If My Heart Had Wings playthrough. And so the plan yesterday was I was going to install. I installed the patch and it worked, but the problem was it wiped our progress, and so we couldn't use the skip feature to like power through the other routes and stuff. And Agaha's route with the translation was so bad I had no idea what was going on, and so I couldn't put up a part yesterday. So that was the problem. Now. The plan as of yesterday was that after I installed the patch and it worked and it fixed it, and I went through a couple of slides and the English was perfect, and I was like, okay, perfect, well, that's awesome. But I did want to use the skip feature for the other ones, and I did feel like that the translation on the first two routes was pretty good. And so I didn't really feel the need to re-record the whole playthrough, because otherwise we're going to have to go through like another 40-something hours or something of If My Heart Had Wings. And so, it was quite something. Now, so yesterday I was hoping that I didn't really have a total estimate on how long it would take. I didn't have a very good sense of it. And after installing the patch, and yesterday I actually played through Kotori's route again. Let me tell you, I did not have time for Amane's route. I think I did it in like 4 or 5 hours, something like that, for the whole playthrough. But it was already late by that time, and so the thing is, I didn't have time to record Divinity, and I didn't have time to play through Amane's route because it was already like 2 a.m. by that point. By the time I beat Kotori's route, so yeah, it's gonna take a while. Amane's route will be faster, I imagine, than Kotori's route, because there'll be less clicking for me. And I mostly, and keep in mind that I wasn't reading through a lot of that. I was skipping it because we just played through a lot of this, so a lot of it was very fresh for me. So I didn't go through a lot. I didn't like read it. You know what I mean? I decided in the end that I'm pretty familiar with this. I'll skip through most of it and I'll hang around for like. I'll loiter a little bit on the really good parts, the relationship building parts, and but mostly I'm just gonna get through this. And so me just mostly skipping, just spamming my enter key or my left click on my mouse, and it took like 4 or 5 hours anyway. So the thing is, because of that, because I still haven't had time to do Amane's route yet, we're not going to be able to record part 18 of If My Heart Had Wings today. But I will get through Amane's route before our next part on Thursday, and then that way a video, part 18 will be coming out on Thursday, and I'll record it on Thursday, and by then I will have done Amane's route, and so then we will be all good to go. And so that's the plan. So, yeah, and so to give you some interesting things about the patch, just as a little quick update. So obviously the patch, its main giant, the coolest thing about it is the translation. It's like, it feels like a whole new game, like, to be honest with you. With even just doing Kotori's route again, like, it feels like a whole new game. Like, it's crazy how the difference that like a perfect English translation does. And I feel like that a Kotori's route and Amane's route were already really, really good, but like it hits very differently when the English is like flawless. You know what I mean? It's insane. So the other major difference is not only is the English better, but apparently this patch actually restored some 18+ content that I wasn't totally aware of. It restored some 18+ content, and quite a bit of it. Apparently, I mean, it was like an edited version for Steam. Apparently, Steam was like, apparently Steam cried about it, so they had to edit it, they had to censor it, you know what I mean, and edit a lot of things out, Because let me tell you, there were a lot of straight up sex scenes during your romance. I think there was 4. And there's 4, and they're not like super short. Like they're not super short or brief either. They're pretty lengthy. And so I was really surprised, as you might imagine, when because obviously the first time like any kind of like sexual thing of any kind happens would be when Kotori is in the bath. Now, keep in mind, on that one, it wasn't sexual on that one. It's because Aoi jumped in because she was, like, drowning. And so now that one wasn't a sexual thing, but this time there was no towel. In our playthrough, she was wearing a towel, and this one she was very much not. And so that was obviously very surprising. I was like, "Holy crap, what the hell?" Like, I was like really, really surprised. I didn't know that was a thing. And so this fixed the translation, and it added some very detailed, very lengthy sex scenes, and which only makes it better for me, obviously. Now, jokes aside, I mean, obviously, like I do enjoy a lot of that stuff. Obviously, I mean, come on, what guy doesn't enjoy that stuff? But I just want to say though, like in if we're, to be serious for a second, is that honestly, it's like, I feel like the connection genuinely was deeper between Aoi and Kotori. Like, yes, it does add the sex scenes, and yes, even on a superfluous surface level, that is fun, that is more fun. But more than that, it's like, yes, it's fun on a surface level, but there's a deeper connection there. There's a reason why that hits different than like just looking up some random hentai or something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like genuinely throughout the whole route, I feel like the connection between Aoi and between Kotori was so different. It was so much deeper and more powerful, and it just hit so much differently. And so I'm really excited for me to get through Amane's route again, because I'm really curious. I'm like, wow, like the patch and restoring the this adorable like lovemaking between like Kotori and Aoi, and going through Amane's route and stuff, and getting to the other ones, like it was interesting, because like I genuinely felt like the connection between them was deeper and like way more flushed out. And I mean, so on a surface level it's fun, but it's about what it means. It's about its deeper meaning. You know what I mean? It's not just a surface level thing. And it was awesome. It was awesome how much more depth it added. And so I'm really excited for that. Yeah, so my advice, my advice is to get this patch. If you play the game, honestly, what I had wished I had done, again, I didn't know. It was a blind playthrough. I had no way of knowing, but I wish I had known about this whole patch thing before we had even played this game, because I would have restored the patch before I even played it, and then we could have played through it together. Now, in some ways, the contrast, I think, helps me appreciate it more. But more than that, I would prefer to have seen it, and I would have preferred to have been able to record the routes we've already done with the patch, because it hits differently. Now, there would be some editing, and like now, okay, keep in mind that the game is voice acted, okay? And so obviously during the sex scenes are voice acted too, obviously. And so the thing is, I was raised very sheltered, let's put it that way. And so, like, I feel this really, like, this awkwardness around a lot of sexual things, as, like, with any kind of people around. If it's just me, I don't feel a thing. It's like, nothing like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. I don't feel any kind of that. But if I'm around anyone else, I feel incredibly awkward during any kind of sexual thing. Now, on my channel, there's been some ecchi stuff, and around, like ecchi stuff too. It doesn't even have to be, like, a full-on hentai thing. Like, and so, but I do feel awkward. So the thing is about the game is, during, like, the sex scenes, like, I could censor it. Yes, I could cut out just whatever I had to. Here's the problem, though, is I don't know how sensitive YouTube is. Are they gonna freak out because there's moaning? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how sensitive YouTube is. I've seen YouTubers that don't censor anything. They put stuff up that's completely uncensored. And, like big channels that have lots of subscribers, and they'll just put up completely uncensored stuff, and YouTube doesn't do a thing. They're totally fine with it. But then I've seen big YouTubers, same thing, or big or not, I've seen other YouTubers that will put stuff up, and then they'll censor everything and the moaning, so you can't see anything. They even censor the moans, so you know what's happening, just because the YouTuber, but you as the watcher can't see or hear anything, right? I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's very weird, and I feel like that if it's annoying that YouTube is not clear and concise on this and what you're supposed to do. If they had clear and concise guidelines, it would be much easier to follow, but they don't spell it out for you. And because they don't really spell it out and they don't enforce it, if anything that goes up as against their rules, it's a lot of that stuff doesn't get enforced, like, perfectly. Anyway, so it's really weird, and so I don't know what to do. So yes, maybe I could censor, like, the actual, like, at least part of the images, but is YouTube gonna care that you guys are listening to it? I don't know. And so, and so it would be, and so even on top of that too, I don't want to read that. I would feel so weird. Like, it's like me reading straight up, like, I don't know, like hentai, like on my channel. Like, it would be so awkward. Anyway, and so obviously, and I feel like for you guys, it would like I would assume it would like suck you out of whatever the joy was, like, oh, this is really, really sexy. It's a hell of a lot less sexy if it's Katori moaning moaning, or if it's me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot different. Like, so it would be awkward. So I don't know. So I would imagine I would just cut them out, and I'd be like, okay, I'll come back in when it's safe. Now, I could put it up, and maybe I could mute it too, I guess, or something. But then, like, how much are you guys really getting? You know what I mean? And I don't want to read that anyway. I mean, it would be awkward. So, I don't know, so it's really hard to say. But, so my advice, do yourself a favor. If you're going to play this game, get the patch and download it. If you're new to this type of thing, it sounds complicated, but I found downloading and installing the patch very simple, because I have done other patch stuff for Steam games before. It is very, very simple. And so there are guides that are very clear and concise that you can find. If you're looking for the patch, what my advice is, go to the subreddit for If My Heart Had Wings. I think it's called an acronym. It's under its abbreviation. So it's, it's like IMHHW or whatever. It's like r/IMHHW or whatever. Go to the If My Heart Had Wings subreddit. Pinned to the very, very top of the page will be a pinned. It'll be like a pinned post, and in that one will be a how-to and the patch. And then in there's a really clear and concise how-to. That's where I got the patch that restored everything, including the 18+ scenes, and of course fixing all the dialogue. So it's really clear and concise. So my advice is go and do yourself a favor, because although I won't cover the sex scenes on my channel, because I would have to censor the shit out of it, or I could keep parts, but it would be awkward. So, Anyway, and so yeah, but I can just say it feels like a whole new game, honestly. Like, it feels like a whole different experience, and it is awesome. So between now and Thursday, probably at least partially today, I am gonna play through Amane's route, and get us back to where we were, and line us up for Ageha's route, and so that way we're lined up to do that. And then I think that'll be really, really cool. Unfortunately, there is no patch for the DLC, and so I'll probably won't pick up the DLC, and maybe I'll just keep my eyes peeled for in case a patch does get released, or maybe we'll take a chance and try and picking it up anyway. I really don't know. Anyway, but it was just, it was awesome. It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, do yourself a favor. Pick it up. Pick up the game, pick up the patch, download it, play it. It feels like a whole new game. And the connection between Aoi and at least the one I've already done, which is Katori, felt way deeper and way better and way different. So I highly, highly recommend it. I cannot recommend it highly enough. So anyway, yeah, so the plan for today is I'm going to record Divinity right now, and then get that edited and then get that uploading. If you're seeing this will be the first thing going out today. I don't think anything else other than this and Divinity will be going out. I think that'll be it for today. And then on Thursday, if I'm able to stick to my schedule, a Divinity part should be coming out. And then it should be part 18 of If My Heart Had Wings, and by then we should be caught up. So I am hopeful that is the case. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Anyway, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.